Hi, welcome back to my channel. Here's our little guest star, Nova, my niece, but she won't be joining us because she's a little bit of a brat. Okay, let's start off with my book, Don't Be Silly, Wait, sorry, that book got vetoed. I can't share that book. Don't worry, it'll come soon. Our new book that I had to write was HIV, What Does That Mean? By me, Sydney Sanchez. This book is split into 4 parts, chapter 1 through 4, and it is dedicated to one of my good friends, Caitlin Sipos. Let's start. Let's get a little comfy. It was a day like any other. Sorry, the kitty. When Sam came home from school and asked his mom a question. Mommy, today we were learning about HIV, but I'm not quite sure what that means. Sam's mom will now explain to him the basics of HIV. Well, honey, Mom started. HIV stands for Human Immunodeficiency Virus. Mom tells Sam that HIV is a disease that affects over 39 million people worldwide, meaning 1 in 8 people probably have HIV. HIV is an infection that must enter the bloodstream. So as you can see, heart, bloodstream, vessels. Ways that HIV can enter the bloodstream is such as a needle, blood transfusion, sharing needles. Semen, we all know how semen is produced, I would think. Vaginal fluid, now the vaginal fluid is green because green fluid equals infection. And breast milk, well, but the mother has HIV and is feeding her child her breast milk, the child's going to contract HIV as well. HIV attacks T helper cells, which are types of white blood cells that help fight infections. Here's the little T helper cell and here's the HIV virus. The outer envelope of HIV is covered in glycoproteins, which mutate frequently, causing the T helper cell not to recognize it. Here you can see the T helper cell saying, "Who are you?" and the virus being a little butt saying, "Oh, you don't need to know who I am." The T helper cell and the HIV then get fused together. Once fused together, the HIV gives the T helper cell a bunch of fun stuff. The HIV gives the T helper cell 2 viral RNA strands and 3 essential replication enzymes. The RNA is then transcribed into DNA. This DNA is then transcribed into the host cell's genome, right here. Chapter 2, the latency period. There's something called the latency period, which means that there are no visible symptoms, for up to 8 years. So as you can see here, he is first infected. 8 years later, they find out they have HIV, which is probably close to killing them, which will turn into AIDS. During the latency period, if the virus is not treated, the HIV kills off the T helper cells. So before, bunch of blue cells. After, there's only like 5. Here's there's 15, like 5. If the cells fall below 200 cells per cubic meter of blood, it leads to AIDS. Dun, dun, dun. Chapter 3, AIDS. AIDS is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. AIDS weakens the immune system, which increases the chances for cancer and other bacterial infections such as pneumonia. But people do not die from AIDS. People with AIDS usually die from the diseases or infections that the body could not fend off. Chapter 4, Prevention. Now, Mom told Sam that there are ways to prevent getting HIV, so no HIV. Ways to prevent spread of HIV is clean needle programs, because if you're sharing needles with someone that has HIV, of course you're going to get needles because you're popping them into your veins. And others would be for sperm and vaginal fluids would be protection during sexual activities, would mean external condoms, internal condoms, and dental dams. Couldn't draw pictures of those because that would be inappropriate. With all of this new knowledge, Sam was just so amazed. Sam had learned what HIV and AIDS are. Whoa! The end. Thanks for letting me, share this book. I really hope that, you all like it because the first book was liked by many people. Bye.